Hey guys, how's it going? So this week I want to talk about um, one of what people consider flaws in the PodGo, and that's the ability to not use multiple amps or change effects and things of that nature. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to set up a tone in a PodGo where we can do some manipulation and show you how to get clean and dirty. It's not going to be an amazing clean. It will be a good dirty though. Depending on the style you're going for. This one's a little bit more probably rock oriented, hard rock, rock oriented, verging on metal, but not quite. So we're gonna go over to the Pod Go, and we're going to take a look at what we can do to build out this preset and make it work. So one of the things you're going to notice here is the way I have the block set up. That's kind of important in something like this. You're going to need either the EQ or a boost or something like that. Well, the EQ to use as something to raise and lower your guitar volume. Okay, so that's going to be an important part of this, a very important part of this. So the way I have it set up now is I have space where I'm going to use the EQ to up and down the volume of the guitar so I can lower and raise the gain on the amp. A place where I can put an overdrive, and a place where I can do a delay, probably most likely with modulation, um, a flanger, and probably a reverb. So the combination effects like modulated delay are going to be really important in something like this. So the first thing we're going to do is let's show you the raw tone that we have dialed up, which I didn't even plug in my guitar, so that's always good. That's probably a better volume. I'll give it a little bit more for you guys to hear. So already it's a decent rock tone. We're just using the placator, and we're using a Cali V30 cab. You can use any cab you want. This is less about the sound, what the amp's going to sound like, and more like what we can do to show you how you can manipulate pedals and amps to get cool tones. Okay, so the important thing with the 10 band EQ is going to be your level control. This is going to be the most important thing. So as you dial up and down the level control, you'll be able to clean up the amp. So if we go in here, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crank down the drive because I'm going to try to get this as clean as possible. We're going to keep the HB on this one. We're going to go back. We're going to turn the C45 on, and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to bring the master down again, too. So that's fairly clean. So that's not so bad. Okay, so we're going to start with that. Okay. It's not super clean, but it's decent. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in front of the amp. Okay. And I am going to add an overdrive. Because when I want to bring the gain back up on the amp, I want to be able to have, and I want it, I'm going to try it with the Minotaur at first, because that tends to be fairly transparent. You want to try and get it the EQ matched to when everything's off and the dirty amp is on its own and the effects are off. They sound the same. Then when you turn them on and the gain is down. I think it's got a little too much top still. It seems to be, there's more gain for sure. Which is okay though. I'm actually going to do this a little bit differently. So, we're going to take these basic sounds, okay? I'm going to dump the overdrive for now. I'm doing this like this so you guys can see my thought process. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to Stomp Mode, okay? And I'm going to make the first button on the bottom of the stomp. Go in the bypass control. Set this to foot switch 4. So the bottom left button is going to turn the EQ on, turn the gain down on the amp. That's what's going to happen there. So now that we have that set up, so right now it's set up, it turns the EQ on and off. And what we need to do is we need to go to the amp, go into bypass and set this parameter to gain drive. Okay. We're going to set the foot switch to 4. Okay. And we're going to set our min value on the gain to where we had it for the clean, which was 1. And then I'm probably going to go max value like 5 right now. So I'm going to save that real quick. So that's not bad so far. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to add an overdrive for a lead tone. Okay, so we're going to try and get clean, lead, and dirty all in one single patch. So then what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to go over here. We're going to add a drive to that. And I think I'm going to go... I'm looking for something that's not so noisy, but with a nice mid-range hump. It wins every time. Every time. All right, so we're going to set that. We're going to leave that pedal actually on its own. We're going to use this in a way so it's more like a pedal board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this distortion and we're going to do bypass control on that. And we're going to set that to switch 5. And save that. So that's just a little push for leads. Actually, I'm really liking the way that sounds for rhythm, though. So we're going to change that bypass control. That bypass control is going to go back to foot switch 4. And 4 is going to give us clean. Yeah, I really like that the way that is. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start building out my clean effects. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to grab a chorus because that's my... And I already know which one I'm going to get because it's my favorite. I'm going to go with the dimension. Okay. And what I tend to do is I turn switch 4 off, switch 1 on. Its default setting is so good. And then I want to add a delay to that. Or I'm actually going to change that. Even though I love this chorus, we're going to do something different. I'm just going to go with a modulated delay because I want to try and get as many effects in as possible. Um, so I always set that to quarter. Feedback, a couple more repeats on that, I think. That's good. Mix we're going to bring down a little. Maybe around 30. I'm going to bring the depth up on that chorus. And I like to have my trails on. Yeah, that's nice. I can live with that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go into bypass control for the chorus. And depending on how you want to use it, I tend to never use clean without chorus, so I'm going to set that to 4 as well again. Okay. Sorry, oops, wrong button. Set that over to 4. Now every time I press 4, I get dirty. Every time I press that one button, all those effects change, and now I have clean with chorus. And right to distortion. All right. So now let's talk about what we're going to do as far as the lead is concerned. So I need to have a delay. We're going to have to put that delay on its own control. That's what we're going to have to do because we want to edit parameters. So we're going to go back into bypass control and we're going to put this on foot switch 1. And I'll show you the reason for that in a little while. Okay. Okay. So now we can turn the delay on and off on the fly. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go over and I'm going to edit some additional parameters inside that delay to turn the modulation on and off. Okay, so let me go in and look at what our settings are on the modulation. Okay, so we're chorus, speed. Oh, we could just do that. We could just turn that on and off. Okay, so we're going to set mod mode as the next thing we're going to set up on a switch. So we're going to go in to bypass control. We're going to go to mod mode. Okay. We're going to set this up on foot switch 2. And then it's going to be off or chorus. So that'll turn the modulation on and off in the delay. Save that real quick. So now I can have modulated delay. With the click of another switch, now I don't have Alright, I have another thing that turned itself on. I gotta go in and I gotta fix. This needs to be no switch, and you need to be turned off. So we got that. So we're going to go back to our delay. Oh, we're not going to be able to do that, are we? Okay, so it does work. And then we want get the modulation back on. So the other thing I'm going to do is, because we've turned the level of the delay down, I'm going to bring the level of the delay back up on switch 2. So we're going to do the mix. And I'm going to put that on foot switch 2. And I want the min value to be 30% like I had it. And I want the max value, I'm probably going to go around 45. So we'll do that. And right now, max value should be 45. Beautiful. So 45 is too much. So we're going to go back in. Edit that. We'll try 37. Good compromise. I want the repeat to be just under the main chord. Still slightly too loud. So we're probably going to go 35. So now if you want like a cleaner delay, you can do that without the modulation. So I turned off foot switch 2 on and off. And I can put modulation in and out. So 2 is now like a chorus button. Then you can go to gain. You can have gain with or without delay. So, I think the delay is too hot with the gain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into bypass control again on the delay, and I'm going to set foot switch 5. Oh wait, no, I want that like that. I want to go into mix. Nope, that's not what I want. Was mix. That's not what I wanted. All right, so I got to get out of this preset real quick and go back. This is why I save in between. So when I fuck something up like that, I can fix it. Okay, so I can take the mix on this, set this to foot switch 5, and then I can set my min value at 30. No, max value is going to be 30%. Min value would do like 21, 20. So let's save that real quick. Much better. Then when we go to clean, now let me adjust some of the amp parameters, because I think we need a little more top end. So there you're using 3 blocks, 2 of the effects blocks. Sorry, two, only two, because we're using the EQ block. And now you have a dirty and a clean tone and a lead tone. So the last thing we're going to do is we want to give the lead tone a little bit of a volume boost. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set on the cabinet block, okay? I'm going to set the level, and I'm going to increase that by 2 dB. So we're going to do that on foot switch B. So we'll go in here to bypass control. I want my parameter to be level, and we're going to set this to foot switch 6. I want my minimum value to be 0. Sometimes these encoders drive me crazy. Okay? And I want my max to be +2. Save that. So now I get a volume boost. So regular rhythm tone. Regular rhythm tone with delay. And then a volume boost for lead. Without the volume boost. All right. So that pretty much covers everything you would need in this preset unless you want to get more effecty. So now you got 2 extra effects blocks to do whatever with you want. If you wanted to do 2 different kinds of boosts, or if you wanted to add compression to the clean tone, you could do that too. So we can go in here. We can add a dynamics, and I like the LA Studio comp. It's the only good comp in here, I think, in my opinion. We can put that in here. Okay, that should be in bypass mode currently. Turn the distortion off and the delay. Go back to the straight rhythm sound. Now let's go back straight to our clean sound. And we're just gonna bring the level down though so we don't get into gain territory. I'm actually going to swap these. That way I'm not hitting the front of the compressor so hard. Now we're getting some big volume discrepancies, so we're going to go back into the level of this. think we're hitting the front of this a little bit too hard now. It's finding that right balance so you really don't get any gain or distortion. I mean, if I pick hard, it's not bad. And then this bypass control, again, is going to go on button 4 for this processor. So then we go over here. We set bypass control to 4. Let's save that again real quick. And then we can go to dirty. So now it gives you the options of dirty or clean with delay. You can turn modulation on and off on either preset, and you can turn the level of the delay on and off on either preset. And then you have another button that's going to give you a boost. So let me see. Now that we got the parameter stuff out of the way, let me see if I can show you how it's configured on the board. I really don't have much light here to do this with. So if we do this, I can move this up a little bit. And then let me reconfigure. Yeah, no, I should have set this up all up beforehand, but I didn't think about it. So kiss my ass. So what you have now is that's delay on and off. This is gain, switching between distortion. This turns modulation on the delay on and off. This is the level of the delay, whether you're at 20 or 30%. And then this is your lead boost. So when you want to switch from clean to dirty, you can. So we're in dirty mode right now. Clean rhythm mode, dirty rhythm mode. If you hit both foot switches at the same time, you get your clean and delay. And then if you want to add modulation, if you want to add even more modulation, then if you want to go to distortion, dirty rhythm, you turn these off in one shot and these off at the same time. Or if you wanted to go right to dirty lead, you could leave that one on and then just turn the modulation off. So So hopefully that will give you guys some ideas of the things you can do in order to manipulate sounds on the pod and use switching. It's a little complex, and it's more of definitely an advanced user thing, but it's definitely feasible to pull off a clean and a dirty in a single patch just by adjusting how much input you give the amp, how much input you give the compressor, and so on and so forth. So hopefully that will give you guys some ideas on some new things you can do with your PodGo. Check out the Facebook group, facebook.com/PodGo users. Check out my page on Facebook, facebook.com/Jason Constantine official. Look for my presets on the Line 6 Marketplace and on Custom Tone. On the Marketplace, they're listed under Constantine Studios. On Custom Tone, they're under Jason Constantine, no spaces. So, without further ado, with further ado, because we're leaving, I guess. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm blah right now. Yeah, I'm doing this at 6 a.m. I'm crazy, I know. But when inspiration strikes, you got to do what you got to do. So, that'll do it for me for today. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.